Good morning, all. Good morning, YouTube. Good morning. And first, what I always say, thank you, Heavenly Father, for waking me up this beautiful, cool Monday morning. And I thank you for everything, big and small, a little and a lot. I thank you so much. And folks, this is what I wanted to say today. Well, first, I have an appointment at the VA Lake Nona today, so I'll be up and out. I'm going to get that device to put, I don't know what part of my body I have to put it on. I'm gonna do the sleep apnea test. I'm not gonna be staying there. I'm gonna bring it home, attach it to some part of my body. They'll show me. And when I'm ready to go to sleep, well, that's when I put it on. And then it'll collect whatever information that they need. And then I'm going back on Thursday. They wanted me to bring it back the next day, but the next day is a Wednesday. You know, that's pantry day. I'm not missing pantry day just for that. So I will be going back on Thursday to deliver it. Yeah, they gave me a 9 o'clock appointment from my veterans transportation, but I think I'm gonna have to call and get them to give me maybe an 11 o'clock appointment, because I think that's too early. And I don't know what time this place is open. They gave me a 3 o'clock appointment, so maybe it's open in the afternoon. So, you know, I'll find out when I get there tomorrow. So, you know, yeah, the Veterans Transportation will be picking me up around 10 tomorrow morning. And then they'll come back and pick me up on Thursday. But, yeah, this is what I wanted to say. I know y'all heard what my brother said. The young lady that was taking our order yesterday at that Jamaican restaurant, she was telling him to tell me not to videotape her. I wasn't even videotaping that young lady. So that's why I said what I said. Maybe she got something to hide, who knows? And there's a lot of folks that don't like to be on camera. But anyway, what I have to say, they might not like this or whoever, but it really doesn't matter, because, you know, JU-Ice don't have no shame to her game. The food was not all that. I would give it a 5. I'm dead serious. The rice, you could taste the coconut. The rice was okay, but it was a bit salty. My sister-in-law said it wasn't. I guess she loved using salt. But I'm not into the salt, you know. I don't need my blood pressure getting higher than what it is, or getting no stroke or whatever. But yeah, you know, the rice was a bit salty. And I tasted rice before that had coconut in it, and it wasn't so strong. It was really strong. You could taste the coconut and smell it. Not that coconut is bad. Coconut is good. But I tasted better rice that was made with coconut. And the oxtail, I love oxtail. I don't eat it a lot. You know, oxtail meat is very expensive. But I like my meat soft, well cooked. You know what I'm saying? Some of the oxtail meat was not real soft, but soft. It was bearable to eat. But the majority of it, excuse me, it was hard. It was hard. I had to take it out of my mouth and put it on a piece of tissue. I wasn't gonna eat that, let that go down. Well, you couldn't even hardly chew it. I wasn't gonna swallow that hard meat to go all the way down in my intestines, my tummy, and then I would have problems getting it out, where it comes out. So no, or being stuck inside, you know what I'm saying? So I wasn't gonna be messing my inside up with that. And that's why I don't really eat the beef and all that kind of hard meat. I try not to put that stuff inside of my tummy because, folks, that's not good. When you go do colonoscopies and stuff like that, you don't need all that stuff in there, because sometimes that stuff, not sometimes, I read a long time ago and I was told, it stays like hamburger meat and all of that. It stays inside of your intestines for a long period of time. It's like hard to push out. You know what I'm saying? So please be very careful of eating, all this hard meat and stuff like that, beef and all that, be careful of eating all that stuff. And I know a lot of people like to eat their stuff medium rare, or, half cooked and shit like that. Me, I'm not into that. That's how a lot of people get worms too. I like my meat to be well done. It has to be cooked. It doesn't matter what kind of meat I'm eating. It has to be cooked. And sushi and stuff like that, there's a lot of folks that love eating sushi. That's on the fish side. All that stuff is not good. That's how you get a lot of worms inside of your body, eating raw meat, raw fish, raw fruits, raw vegetables. Because the worms, they cling on to the vegetables and stuff like that. Some of them be in the fruits, and they're so tiny you can't see them. And lots of people don't wash their fruits or their vegetable off. They just grab them and start chewing. Like, some people, I see people going to the supermarket and stuff like that, or wherever they sell fruits, and they'll grab a grape or two and start eating. Or, any little fruit that's little, they'll grab it to say they're tasting it. Me now, you know what I do, but I stopped doing it because my daughter said something to me one time, and I was like, oh Lord. I used to take my finger and just, with my nail, my long nail, and I'll just take one and I'll stick it with my nail and just taste it from my finger. You know what I'm saying? But that too is not good. That's nastiness, because, well, I didn't leave the fruit there. I just took it and threw it in the garbage. But, I'll stick my finger in it first before I go buying a whole bunch of them and bringing them home. And come to find out they're not sweet and stuff, So that's how I test mine. But now I don't really do that anymore, because my daughter, she got down on me one time when she saw me do it, So I don't do that anymore, I'll just look at the fruits and stuff like that. If they look kosher, because even asking the person that's selling them if it's sweet, of course they're going to tell you it's sweet because they want you to buy the stuff. So I don't even bother with that anymore. I just look at it, if it look all right to me, I'll buy it and bring it home and wash them. I make sure I wash them. A good way how to wash them too, soak them in vinegar. I was looking at that on YouTube. Don't just wash them with plain old water, because stuff could still be on it. And you take a brush. They have those brushes. They sell them in the Dollar Tree. You could buy them, and they have certain brushes that you can buy to wash, to scrub your fruits off with, So, you just wash your fruits, your vegetables, but soak them in vinegar. Get some vinegar, get some hot water, in there mixed with the vinegar, and soak your fruits and your vegetables in there. And the reason you soaking it is to get all that debris or whatever is on it that you can't see. Yeah, because they be spraying the fruits and the vegetables with different kind of chemicals. So don't just go grabbing the stuff when you see them and putting it in your mouth, eating and stuff, because you're putting damage inside your body and not realizing it for real. So the other thing that they had, the vegetable was good. It was cabbage and some carrots. They had it sliced up. That tasted good. And then they had this round thing like a ball. It was dough with sugar in it. I don't know what other ingredients they put in there, but they call it a different name in Jamaica, because my sister-in-law, she Jamaican, so she called it a different name. But it was like a round ball, and they fried it, so of course the outside was brown, not a dark brown, but on the inside it's made out of dough, and it tasted sweet. So they added sugar to it, and I don't know what else. I don't know if they had nutmeg or whatever in there, but that tastes good. But other than that, I'll give the food a freaking 6. I'll give it a 6. So any of you that come to Orlando or lives in Orlando and y'all want to get some Jamaican food, I advise y'all not to even go to that restaurant. It's over there by John Young, the sheriff county department is over there. You can't miss it. It's like a mini mall, and they also have a Haitian restaurant in there too. I didn't eat that, but my brother talking about next time we could eat the Haitian food. I don't know about all of that. Maybe I'll go somewhere else for the Haitian food, because they have a lot of Haitian restaurants down here, and I never really ate Haitian food. So, but I was told that it tastes really good, so I'll try that somewhere else. But the patties that this lady makes, she comes over to the pantry and she sell them there. When she go to the church, she's Haitian, so that's a Haitian dish. I tasted her patties and they taste very good. I made a video adding her into it already. So, and then again, it depends on who the heck is making the food. Not everybody makes food good. It don't, not all the time, but I'm not knocking anyone, but I'm just saying, if y'all looking for a nice Jamaican restaurant, they have a lot of them down here too. So, swing somewhere else. One of the customers, he was on the Haitian line, and he asked my brother where he bought his food, if he bought it from the Haitians. So he said, no, it's from the Jamaicans right there. So he was like, how is it? At first I said it was okay, but then when I started eating through it, I was like, oh no, this is not what I thought it was. So he never got off the line anyway. He stayed on the Haitian line and got his food, him and his friends. So, but no, I get him a 6. The only reason I give him a 6 is because the cabbage was good, and no, I'm not gonna give them a 6. I give them a freaking 4. You know what I'm saying? Because the only thing that tasted really good was the cabbage and the round ball. So that don't even deserve a 6. I give them a 4. Yeah. So y'all be careful when you're going out there buying food, from the outside, because these people, just because it's a Jamaican restaurant don't mean that their food is all that good. You know what I'm saying? Because it don't matter who they are, once you start tasting the food, if it don't taste good. Yeah, so yeah, so I just woke up, y'all. I was in a dream. Oh my God. I was with the military, and then we got off and stuff, and I went to shine my boots for the next day and stuff like that. But the weirdest thing, where we were staying, it seemed like a freaking hotel. And I didn't really see a lot of people in uniform. They were in civilian clothes, but in the dream, I was supposed to be in the military. Didn't seem like no kind of military nothing. And there were a lot of folks there. They was going to be having this event in the same hotel where we were staying. And, the people were setting up and everything. But where we slept, we had to walk through that area to go inside our sleeping quarters. So, they had the females together and the males together, and the females, it was like 6 people to a room. And the funniest thing is, the room where I slept, my locker was in one of the other rooms. It was so weird how they had it set up. So I had to go into the other room. That's where I went to get my clothing and stuff like that. And then when I got in there, it was so crazy in there because the people that was in there, they had their stuff all over the place. It was like you couldn't even find your stuff. And finally, I found mine, but it was all mixed up with other people's stuff. And, I went to get my boots because I wanted to shine them. You know what I'm saying? Like to put polish on them so I could shine them later. And I did it. But the funniest thing, I left and I went into the room where I slept. Our bathroom was over there. So I went over there. And then when I decided to go back, because I couldn't find my slippers, so I went back to get my slippers. Believe it or not, the slippers disappeared. I only found one boot. I was looking around, couldn't find my stuff because, like I said, the other girls, they had shit all over the place. And I was like, what the hell? I couldn't find my boot. I was like, how am I going to get my boot to wear tomorrow? Oh my God. Anyway, I came out the room, and it was so weird because it was like I had some kind of plastic teeth in my mouth. I don't know. My real teeth was in my mouth, but the plastic teeth was all crumpling up. And then when I talked, they were just falling out, but you could see my real teeth. So this young lady that was sitting in front of me, she started laughing, and then the other girls was looking and laughing. It was like, this weird right here, she's always with some funny joke. So then I said, you know what? Let me make a video. I got to put this on YouTube. So here I go looking for my phone in my bag, and I was like, oh, okay, my phone is here. I pulled out my phone. And the weirdest thing, I could not get YouTube on my phone. I just could not get YouTube. The girl took it, and she was like searching. And she said, yeah, the same thing is happening with my phone, All these different programs was coming up, but YouTube was not coming up. The other girl said, just give it a little while. We never really got to do I never got to do the video because YouTube would not come on my phone. I don't know what the heck was going on with their internet or whatever over there. And then I decided to go downstairs. So when I went downstairs, guess who the heck? I went and I pulled open this door. And this was the room to where the guys were staying. You would not believe who the heck I saw when I opened the door. I saw Chris Brown and Kai Cenat. Remember Chris Brown, folks? The singer Chris Brown and Kai Cenat, the streamer? Oh my goodness, the two of them was right there, and there was a whole bunch of other guys in the room. And for some reason, Chris Brown and Kai Cenat knew who I was. So they were like, where you going? Wait for us. And I came out and I closed the door. They were laughing and I just closed the door and I just walked away. Then I went by this table to sit down, and it was this young lady. I knew her, but then I don't even remember who the heck she was. So I had this credit card, and you know, a lot of her stuff was missing also. So I pulled out the card and I told her, here, go get yourself some stuff. Go get yourself some stuff. And she was like shy and stuff. She was like, oh, my mom is going to say something. She's going to want to know where I got this money and stuff from, because I don't have no money. I said, girl, just take the card and go buy whatever you need, you know. So she was like, you sure? I said, yes. You don't have no clothes. I don't know what happened to your clothes. It disappeared like my boot and my slippers. So she eventually took the card and she smiled and she said, thank you. So, you know, we all, everybody just disappeared out the dream. I just woke up. So I decided to drop this video, you know. I was like, wow, what a crazy dream. It was nice seeing Chris Brown and Kai Cenat and stuff like that, but the dream was crazy itself. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to look up on Google to see what missing boots mean. You know, the slipper and the missing boot, you know, I'll look up to see what that mean, you know. But other than that, it was okay, you know. I told y'all I be dreaming all sorts of stuff. And no, I was not dreaming. And I did not eat late last night like people be saying when you have dreams. Oh, you probably ate too much and went to bed late. You ate late and you went to bed, or you was drinking, or you was high on something. No, I don't get high. I wasn't drinking. I don't drink. Only thing I drink is water and juice from time to time. And no, I didn't eat late. The last meal I had was around about 6:30, and I went to bed like after 12 o'clock, midnight. You know what I'm saying? So no, I didn't do any of those things. I'm just a person that have that special gift, and I'm grateful to my Heavenly Father for it. Yep. So, yeah. So I just wanted to share that with you all, whoever's interested in it. You know what I'm saying? But you know, yeah, it's good to be able to talk about different stuff, especially things that you see in your sleep, you know. It just shows that I'm not a boring person, you know. I have intellect, and I have a wild imagination, and I do have a lot of dreams that come into my head, my mind, or wherever it stores, you know what I'm saying? So I am a very interesting person. I am dead serious. Oh, and I forgot to tell y'all, I had gotten this, it's a burial insurance here in Florida, you know, and they had sent it to me through the mail. I turned it away like 3 times, and then the last time it came, it's a Funeral Advantage. I decided to fill it out and send it back. So this is the name of it: Lincoln Heritage Funeral Advantage. So a young man came last night. You know, he's Cuban, he's Spanish, but you know, he's Cuban mixed with something else. I forgot what he told me. Nice young man. You know, he reminded me of this young man that I worked with at New York City College of Technology because his facial structure looked like him. I even told him that. So, you know, we talked for a long time, and, you know, he was explaining about it to me and everything. You know, I told him I had insurance and stuff like that. So he checked it out to see if it was a good insurance, you know, the Better Business Bureau and stuff like that. So it was an 8A, the one that I have, and his is an 8A. So, you know, I joined it, you know. I joined it because um you know, it's more money that will come when I pass away, you know, like to handle my burial and all that kind of stuff, in case if the other money from the other insurance don't come in on time. You know, that this one you can call right away as soon as a person pass. You can call them up right away. You know, he gave me the card and stuff is going to come to me in the mail. You call them up. I could even call him personally, and well, not me, you know, my daughter, and they'll give you the money right away. You'll get the money right away. He even showed me um, paperwork of people that is unalive that, you know, joined them and stuff like that, and how soon they got back their money. Because, as a matter of fact, I have to call up the insurance that I have and ask them this question. I'm going to do it today. Ask them how long would it take for my daughter to receive the funds when I pass away. You know, how long would it take? And that's a question that people need to ask the insurance, because he was explaining to me that some insurances, you know, it takes like maybe 5 or more months before the person can actually get the money. And you know, the funeral home and all of that stuff has to be taken care of. Like for me, he said I wouldn't have a problem with the military because, you know, I have the burial ground already with the military in their cemetery. And, you know, they give you the flag and all that other stuff, but they don't pay, the military don't pay for when, you know, for the people, for when they have to come remove the body from the hospital or wherever the hospital is at, wherever the body is at, to take it to the funeral home. You know, the military don't pay for that. You have to pay that out of your pocket. So the funeral advantage, they take care of all of that. So I'm glad that I did fill out the paperwork, and he came to me and he explained it to me. So, you know, that's why I joined it, you know. So they have like 3 prices, you know. I took the second price, and which is $68 a month. And, you know, the other one is 30 something, but, you know, you get a pine box and some other stuff. I didn't want that, you know. So the third one is much better. So I got that one. It has a lot of different things that go along with it. You know, it take care of a lot of stuff. So, you know, I'm trying to make my funeral and everything a lot easier for my daughter when my time come. You know what I'm saying? So she don't have to go in her pocket for nothing, for nothing. So that's why, you know, I got my insurances and stuff. And, you know, the young man, you know, he was praising me because he said, you know, he come out to a lot of people and he's realizing a lot of people don't have insurances. So, you know, he was praising me because he said, you know, that's good. You know, you have your own insurance put aside and stuff like that. That's very good. And, you know, I showed him the book that I wrote and stuff like that. And he was praising me about that too. And believe it or not, he is ordering the book. He pulled it up. You know, he said he's gonna order it. So I think he ordered it the same time. And then, you know, I was telling him about my YouTube channel. So he pulled it up and he was like, well, now you got a new subscriber. And then, you know, I told him I'm a notary. You know, I'm a notary efficient. You know, I performed 3 weddings already. And no, 2. And he was like, it was almost 3, but the other person canceled out. So he was like, oh my God, you're doing really well for yourself. You're doing very great. You're doing great. Excuse me. So, you know, he was like, he was just praising and complimenting me. You know what I'm saying? He's 37 years old. And he was saying, you know, he about the writing and stuff like that, you know, writing. And, you know, I told him I have another book that I'm soon gonna put out, you know. And, you know, it's about 9/11, you know, and I'm not gonna tell y'all the title, but he found that so fascinating because, you know, he was like, that is a great title. That is really great. And, you know, he said, I gave him the encouragement and stuff like that to really seriously get into his writing because he's interested in stuff like that. And from speaking to me, you know, he's definitely going to get in touch and do stuff like that. He's going to try to write his own book and, you know, and stuff like that, you know. And he was just thanking me and praising me and saying, you know, about the things that I did and stuff like that, you know. So I was very grateful hearing that from him and stuff like that. So, you know, we gave a big hug. He said, can I give you a hug? So we gave a big hug for a while. And then, you know, he left, you know. And it was very nice talking to him and stuff. He even gave me a text message telling me it was very nice meeting me and stuff like that, you know. And I texted him back saying thank you. And then he said, you know, you can call me anytime, you know. And if you need to know anything about the Funeral Advantage, you know, just call me up and let me know what's going on and all that kind of stuff, you know. So I was very grateful to meet him and get all that information. So to those of you that live in Florida, this is in Florida, you can check out Lincoln Heritage Funeral Advantage. I'm going to give y'all the phone number. Let's see if I can find it. Hold on. It's here somewhere. Where is it? Well, I have his card. Where did I? Oh, his card is right here. This is the young man right here. I don't know if you can see it. This is him right here. And you see, he's a licensed insurance person. And this is his phone number, if you can see it, and his email address. And you can call him up and check it out. See? And this is what the cards say. You can plan today. How to plan today, excuse me, can make the difference for those you love later. You know, I don't know if you can see it, but yeah. So yeah, you can call him up, and there's a card that's gonna come in the mail. I'm putting my stuff back, as you can see. And there's he said like 3 or 4 cards that's gonna come in the mail. They like identification. He told me to carry one in my wallet, give one to my daughter, and then I could give the other 2 or whatever to my granddaughters or whatever. just in case when I pass away, one of them can call the number and they will come and take care of everything, everything, everything. Pick out the casket and all that kind of stuff. They'll take care of everything. And the family members even get back money also from that. And for me now, I'm supposed to put the card in my wallet and walk around, travel with it. And like if I happen to get unalive in a car accident or out in the street or something, when the police come, they'll go through my wallet and they'll see that card and they can call the funeral advantage place and they will send someone out to take care of me, of my situation. Yeah, so it's good because I never even knew about stuff like that, but that's here in Florida. So that's for Florida residents. So that's a good thing. You know what I'm saying? Florida has a lot of good perks down here. A lot more than I know that they have in New York. They have a lot of good perks. I don't even think New York have many perks. But I'm not going to knock New York. But I lived there for many years and I haven't seen or heard about anything. But down here, they have a lot of perks for people and especially seniors. They do. Yeah, the country is going through a rough time right now, but they still got the perks here in Florida. So, folks, you got to check things out. You know what I'm saying? Go on the internet, go online, go on your phone, your computers, watch YouTube. I always say this, watch YouTube. There's a lot of stuff out there that y'all don't even know about. You know what I'm saying? You have to get involved, pay attention. You know what I'm saying? And Mr. Don Lemon, I got to give you a big shout out. I saw the short, what you were saying to Nicki Minaj. Sir, you just got to nip stuff in the butt. You know what I'm saying? If people say something negative about you, I can't wrong you. You got to nib it in the butt. And you're over there in Minneapolis, be careful down there. Be safe. Stay warm. You know what I'm saying? And I admire you. I admire you. So, everyone, have a beautiful Monday. Stay warm, whoever's in the cold. Make sure you eat and drink something warm, not hot, that's going to burn your mouth. And make sure you keep your hat on and your scarf and, dress warm and stuff. I feel so sorry for all the homeless people that's out there, don't have nowhere to sleep or, no proper clothing or whatever. I feel so sorry for them. Like I said in a video, if I had millions of dollars, believe you me, nobody will be homeless. Nobody will be homeless. People would have food, they would have a place to live, they would have everything. If I had billions of dollars, I swear to God, no one will be homeless or hungry. Well, sickness I can't prevent because I don't care how much money you have, you can't prevent sickness. You can pay for the bills, you can pay for the medication, but you can't stop it. You know what I'm saying? But money can get you someplace to live. It can buy food. It can even buy your meds. It can get you a car. It can get you a ride on the bus. It can get you to fly on a plane to go to another country or visit in an island. It could get you a lot of things, but it cannot give you back life and it can't prevent sickness. Remember that. I don't care how much money you have. If you have a terminal disease, it doesn't have to be one that people can catch. I don't care how much money in the world you have or how famous you are, you cannot prevent that. You cannot take it away with money. You can't. That's all in the Heavenly Father's hand, y'all. It's in His hands. If you are to live or if you are to die, our Heavenly Father, you see what I'm pointing up there, up into the sky? Our Heavenly Father, He is the one that's in control. Remember that, folks. Remember that. Remember that. And thank your Heavenly Father for all the doctors and the nurses and all the technicians that, that do the x-rays and different kind of stuff. Thank God for all of those people having all those kind of equipment, you know what I'm saying? To find out about things that be going on in your body. You be having pain, you don't know what's going on. Thank God for all these people. Because hadn't for them, God gave them the knowledge and the hands to do what they do. They too don't even get paid enough. I don't think they get paid enough. They should. Because they are the ones, God give them that miracle and they help you survive. You know what I'm saying? They do their best, but they get all of that knowledge and all of that good stuff. They get it from the Creator. Yeah, they went to school and they studied and all that stuff. Not everybody can be a nurse. Not everybody can be a doctor. Not everybody can be technicians. Not everybody can be firefighters. Thank God for them too. You know what I'm saying? They do a lot. Thank God for them. Not everybody can be a lot of professions that they have out here. Not everybody can be a dentist. Not everybody can be a lot of different things. I am dead serious. God gave you all those gifts. He did. Not everybody can be a singer. Not everybody can be a comedian. God give us all those gifts. They are gifts, y'all. So don't take advantage of them. Use them the right way. So everybody out there in the whole wide world, wherever you are, stay blessed. Love yourself. Love your family. Love one another. Cut the hating out. Cut the jealousy out. Cut the killing out. Cut the child abusing out. Cut all of that mess out. I'm dead serious. And to those of you that take drugs and stuff like that, try to get yourselves off of that stuff because it's killing a lot of you. It's killing so many of us. It is. It's not doing nothing for you. And stop the drinking of the alcohol and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? It's destroying us. It's destroying us. And try to eat right. I don't know what right is, but just try to eat right. Stop putting all that crap into your body because that's killing us too. And just be good to people. Be good to one another and be good to people. Have a good, clean heart. Be kind. And don't hate on somebody because they have something more than you, or they might look better than you, or they might smell better than you, or whatever, because you don't know what this person did to get where they at, to have all these things. Stop hating on people. The world would be a much better place if there wasn't no hate. If it was love, we wouldn't be where we at right now. You know what I'm saying? It's so much hate, hatred, and jealousy. That's why we right where we at right now, going through all of these struggles. I'm dead serious. And I'm praying, even if I'm not alive, I'm praying that one day everyone from everywhere will harmonize. Doesn't matter what color you are or who you are, they will harmonize. Stop the hate, hatred, and all this kind of stuff, and make this world a better place. Michael Jackson words, make this world a better place. Thank you, MJ. May you rest in peace, because you was a good soul. And thank you, Martin Luther King, for having a dream, because I have a dream. Lots of us have a dream. And one day, that dream or those dreams will come true. For real. Whether your dream come true or not, it will pass on to your kids, to your grandkids, because they have dreams also. So if you don't fulfill yours, pray that they will fulfill theirs. So y'all have a good day. I'm out.